Well, hello people. One big change. I cut my hair. It looks so nice. I love it. You might see some videos coming after this one in which I have long hair because I want to post this before. So today I want to talk about a big topic, really popular right now, and it's about James Charles. And I was thinking just a couple of days ago, going back to like the second Dramageddon or whatever, like the one with like Tati against James Charles and Jeffree Star like with Tati, but Shane Dawson pretending he's like there trying to help everyone and all that crap that happened. And I was like, was Jeffree Star right? Was he? And then that just like escalated and it made me think a lot of things. And this is just my opinion. And of course I get all my information from drama channels, mostly Def Noodles. Shout out to Def Noodles, he is amazing. Love watching him. This is only just my personal opinion and also an opinion from someone that has had experience with people pressuring me in doing things I don't want, being emotionally and physically abused, having to deal with narcissists, sociopaths, however those are called. I have dealt with women and men like that. And this just comes from like an analysis from my own point of view and how I think that this whole James Charles thing is a little bit worse than it looks. So when the whole thing with Tati first started and Jeffree Star said something about James Charles was banned to go to their house by Jeffree Star's ex-boyfriend because of something about his brother, something, I don't know, like a bunch of things, right? Jeffree said he had receipts and voice messages and whatever about James Charles being predatory. And those are really strong things to say. And it makes me think like you could use a lot of words, but he chose to use those words. And I know sometimes Jeffree Star doesn't have a filter and he just says whatever the fuck he wants because he just thinks he's like untouchable. But it's just, it goes back to that. It goes back to the thing that we're now saying that we should believe victims. And we're now saying that sometimes people tend to pretend like a sexual assault or a rape weren't that. They weren't a big deal, or that emotional abuse is not a big deal, or like manipulation is not a big deal. Like people sometimes pretend they didn't knew, or they just pretend they weren't doing nothing wrong. And we're now like understand that all those are excuses, they're bullshit, and they all come from people that just want power over other people and manipulate them and just like have everyone under their feet. And also, Jeffree Star was so sure about having like receipts about how James Charles was being predatory towards someone and how he had a victim, like a voice message that we never heard from anyone. And here I am thinking like, what if he actually had a voice message from someone that just later decided it's not worth it? Like, it's like people are forgetting that he already was accused of these back in like 2019. He was already accused of that. And it has been 2 years. So for 2 years, he didn't change. He didn't, because he did it again. Because like it first started with jokes about how he wants to fuck a waiter, or even before that. So we could like easily assume like at least for the last 3 years he has been inappropriate. That's a long fucking time. People like, I don't know if people are thinking that this whole thing is just like haha a couple months on TikTok and he just messaged some people. No, like it started back there. It started with jokes and now it's with actions. There's a pattern. That's why people are so upset. That's why like people are taking so seriously how people are brushing it off like, oh, he just did a mistake. No. And I kind of feel that James Charles has this pattern for many reasons. One is that when Tati talked about him in her first video, she did mention how uncomfortable she felt during a conversation they had at a table and how he was talking about like the waiter. And that's the thing, is like, if you say something as a joke once, your friends are not gonna be grossed out about it. They're not. They might call you out. They might tell you like, hey man, that's inappropriate. But when you do a lot of those jokes, or when you do a lot of those sexually inappropriate comments, then is when people start seeing a pattern and they start feeling uncomfortable when you do that. So why would Tati feel uncomfortable if it was maybe the first time James Charles said something like that? I don't think so. And that comes from, again, my own personal experience with life, that I have had a lot of friends that have done awful things. And the first time is like, oh, they're young, oh, they're stupid, oh, they didn't knew, oh, I guess they didn't understand, oh. And after 3 years of the same shit, you finally understand that that's the way they are. And it doesn't change if they grow, it just gets different. Like, first are comments and then their actions. And I think we finally reached the part in which James Charles' comments are turning into actions. And hopefully this is where it actually stops. I know he's a celebrity, and yes, it might have been that these guys were just trying to troll him, or they were actually trying to talk to James Charles and they just lied about their age because they were afraid of like something happening with him. I don't know. But like, how many times it happened to one of your friends that he was like so desperate that he was messaging and being really sexual towards someone online that he hasn't met in person, and asking them for nudes and stuff, or like asking them for sexual things? Like, when was the last time you heard that story? It just doesn't happen. And even putting aside the whole age situation, I just find it like, I know he mentioned that in his apology that like the For You page is not your dating app, and it's like, it's so stupid. Like, do you really needed the whole internet to tell you that for you to understand that's not okay? Me as a woman, I know how gross it is when guys start to text you sexually. I know how gross it is. Like, I know. And like, I could imagine that if I was even 18, like, I can imagine like being 18, you're still dumb and young, you know? And if like a celebrity texted me and start asking me for sexual stuff, that's fucked up. People don't realize that when you're 18, you can be taking advantage of. I know that feeling. I have been in that position, and that's why it makes me like so angry that he really thought that he could just message people. He really thought that he could just ask for nudes or like armpit pictures from other people. And he now realizes how wrong it is. Dude, have you been blind this whole time? In which women are like literally screaming at everyone how bad it is for us with all these like unsolicited like internet interactions from men that think that they have power over us? Like, you really forgot about that? Or is that different because these two people are men? Is that different for you? It's not. It's the same. And maybe a lot of people are taking it lightly because these two guys are men. It's just fucked. Even if those guys were 18, it's fucked. Because I don't understand how is a thing to ask for nudes. I know for some people that's their like fetish, or they like it and they enjoy it. You kind of like feel naughty for a second. Like, I understand people enjoy from sexting, I get it, but sexting random people online, being a fucking celebrity, and you think there's no problem, and you just now realize it's bad, and instead of like, and he said in his apology that as soon as I found out they're 16, I blocked him. You were supposed to apologize. Your best kind of like way of dealing with it would have been like, oh my god, dude, like, are you really 16? Oh shit, man, like, sorry, I cannot talk to you anymore. Like, man, I apologize for asking all that crap. Sorry. No, he blocks them. He makes them feel like they are the issue. They are the problem. He gets mad when they leak stuff about him. He gets mad that they call him out because he didn't knew. Why did you do it in the first place? Why? Oh, I'm just so angry. I'm just so angry. I'm angry because I know how it feels, and it makes me sad that people are not taking this seriously. It's just that. Like, it's just really disappointing. Oh, man. It is. And the two things that disgust me the most is when I saw a couple of like screenshots of how he asks for nudes and for pictures, and that gave me like fucking PTSD. I was triggered. I was like, I need a trigger warning for that, because that just reminded me of how the predators in my life have insisted me as well, knowing they could get something because they're well aware of the power they have over me. And I'm gonna pull one right now. So this one is the one that like just makes me feel unease. I guess this picture could be fake, I don't know, but this whole "it will take you literally 30 seconds to send a pic like this, ha ha ha," it just makes me so angry, because that's pushing it. I just trying to like even imagining what scenario you would have to say that it will take you only 30 seconds. Well, that person already said no. No means no. I'm busy means no. It might mean later, but that can only be decided by the other person, not by you. So this whole like "it only takes 30 seconds" pisses me off, because like it makes me believe that he pushes people to send him nudes. And like I can even recall like a lot of like conversations that have leaked of him, and how insistent he is about all these. Like how much he insists to these people is what makes me feel so uneasy, because it makes me feel like he thinks that he is allowed to insist when other people say no, and he makes them feel bad when they say no. Always, it's always everything's about him. I don't know. And then he makes these apologies, and it's like, I don't know. All I wanted to say is that this whole pattern makes me uncomfortable, and I don't think we should take it as lightly as everyone's taking it. We shouldn't. Honestly, the only thing I can really hope for is for him to change and to realize that this is not a thing he just did once. This is not an oopsie. This has been progressing since like 3 years ago. It just came to the point it got worse. I'm glad he realized that the For You page on your TikTok is not a dating app, because TikTok is not a dating app. People go there to have fun, not to find relationships. I'm glad he realized that, but I'm so disappointed in him as a human that he didn't realize that before. It's not a mistake that you just do. I think he's, in a way, too privileged, and he doesn't realize the power he has on people. And again, he did admit on the video that he now understands. Well, it's just sad. It's just sad that you just understand. That means that for the last how many years you have been famous, you have been doing it and not knowing it was wrong. Maybe it was sexual, maybe it was just to get a favor, maybe it was something to like get viewers from another influencer or YouTuber or whatever. And as I said, as a woman who has been in these scenarios, I know by fact that it's never a mistake. I know by fact that it's never that I trusted the age. It's always they know. And one thing I forgot to add that I just remembered, like he really didn't feel bad for messaging 16-year-olds. He didn't. He felt bad that people are like commenting on all his bullshit, because it took him way too long to come forward with this. It's disgusting how we're not seeing what truly is happening here. Like how many times men took advantage of a fan. How many times it happened that he was 21 and she was 16. How many times that happened? How many times it happened that he was 28 and she was 18 and they took advantage of them being naive and young? Too many. Like we already know this story. I don't know. I have a little to no hope for James Charles, and I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope he changes. I really hope this was a mistake. I really hope this was out of just being young and stupid and not knowing how to properly behave with people. I just don't know under what rock he has been living that he doesn't realize that this type of behavior is really shitty. As I said, this was my opinion. I don't really have any facts and any receipts. All the information, it's from drama channels, mostly Def Noodles. Shout out again to Def Noodles. But also many other channels. A lot of this is just critical thinking, and a lot of this is just putting myself in the position of the victims. of knowing how these things transpire. And honestly, I just have never seen one of these type of people change. Never. I'm maybe later in life, maybe when I'm 50, I will see one of these people that use their power on others to get things change. I might see that, but I haven't seen it yet. I haven't. So I just hope he changes. I just hope he stops abusing his power, because all I want for this world is to have less people that do so. I'll leave it at that. If you have any thoughts, opinions, if you think I'm right, if you think I'm wrong, if you think I don't have all of the facts, if you think I should change my opinion, if you have been in the same situation or anything, feel free to comment. I'd love to have a discussion about it. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. That will help me so much. I'll see you guys really, really soon. Bye bye.